Howdy everybody, and welcome to me reviewing a new game. This game is called Gah, G-A-H exclamation point. It is a roguelike in production right now by a single developer. If you give me just a second, I'm in his Discord server after I found the game and stuff. I don't know if this is his name. Let's see. Let's go to the actual Steam store page for a second, but basically, it's by Jasio Games. There we go. It is a Polish guy working on this game. It is set to be released in 12 days, September 4th. The idea of it is a game... It's a hack and slash dungeon crawler with roguelike elements instead. Roguelite elements, I guess, really. So imagine Diablo, but turned into a roguelite. This kind of game, it's kind of 50-50 on if it'll work, but so far I've actually been really enjoying this one. I will say, now that I have gotten that out of the way, let's get the real thing out of the way, and that is I did receive a key from Keymailer to review this game. But beyond that, let's get into it, shall we? I don't know how much this game is gonna be on launch. Again, typically the games that I review, I would say all value somewhere around $10 to $15. I have noticed that it says that there is gun damage in this game, even though, here, let me show you. Let me hit new run. You choose a map. So far I've only beat level 1, but there's level 2 right here, Rise from the Grave. And then level 3 I have to beat level 2 to unlock. And then chapter 2 has 3 more worlds. And then chapter 3 is still in progress, it looks like. I'm actually going to go with the Goblin Invasion again, because it's the one I'm most familiar with, and I beat it already once. There you go. If you click on Adventures, it seems like it sets you to the one that you're on. After you beat it, you unlock Nightmare difficulty. I can't totally tell what's different, other than the fact that I still died. This game is not exactly easy, and it tells you that at the start. It actually gives you a warning. This game is difficult. Do not expect to win very early on, especially not very often.
I knew you would pick me.
You start with 3 classes, but there are 6 total. This one really does have a gun. It's a fantasy game, but it looks like there's actually a sense of other things in it, which is kind of cool.
From the unseen, my arrows rain with deadly
I beat the
grace.
game as Rogue. The other thing to note that this game is on, I am playing it on Steam Deck. This game is not built for Steam Deck, but I'd like to show it off on Steam Deck anyway, just to show you kind of how it feels. It is mostly controlled with mouse controls, and that's a pretty big deal. But, this is, when you start a character, this is your first screen. You can either visit the village, which is where you sell stuff, and you get your permanent upgrades. And then you can go to one of 2 levels, and then you have to beat 5 different levels, at least for the Goblin Invasion. This one... Ooh, both of these give all stats up? This one says finish in 6 minutes, this one says don't use a Q ability. I'm actually going to go to the Crypt of Relentless Darkness because of that. And that's because you don't actually start with a Q ability necessarily. You do... I have it unlocked so that I level up at the start of each new floor. So I get 5 levels given to me, and a little bit of loot, you'll see. But, I hope maybe I don't see my Q ability. I'll know pretty early on here. This is my Q ability right here, Piercing Arrow. It's actually probably the strongest ability, at least for Steam Deck, that I have
Rise
found.
above, or be swallowed by shadows.
I don't know who actually voices that, if anybody does, or if it's AI. I think it's somebody actually voicing that one. Because there is an
Can't carry more
opening
potions.
video to this game, and it really sounds like it's AI voiced. But then after that point, everything sounds like it's actually somebody. But you see, it's very standard equipment. You get small passives that you can build up per run. If you right click, you can set them to auto fill. And then once you get 5, you unlock the next row, and then 15, you unlock the row after that. This is pretty much how the whole game plays. So, ooh, there's a chieftain in here already. Huh. I'm getting used to playing with Steam Deck.
Can't carry more potions.
I actually think it kind of feels good once you get used to it. It's just a little bit jank. Because you gotta adjust to the fact that you have to be able to point and click at somebody and then move your cursor, simulated cursor, across the screen using a joystick. You're getting way more health potions than I would normally see. This is awesome. I have a little guy here. He's a little boar. He's really cute. He picks up my my gold for me. One of the big complaints that I had when I was playing was on Steam Deck specifically, it's really hard to pick up tiny items. But it turns out I have it bound so that if I hit A, it'll just auto grab the item for me. This gives HP regen.
Can't carry more potions.
So yeah, if I hit A, it'll automatically pick up the item I'm closest to,
Can't carry more
which
potions.
is very handy. Also, health regen feels to me, along with health with life steal, those two feel to be like possibly the strongest stats in the game. Okay, this bookcase is extremely in my way. That was unfortunate. They attack with poison because of the effect. Poison has a chance on proc to give you damage over time. Not surprising, I know, but I'm just glad it's not guaranteed. You'll notice as we go forward, there are going to be large hordes in this game. Maybe a little too large at time in my opinion, but I mean, is where a lot of the difficulty comes from, I guess, in terms of how you manage crowd control and stuff. And that's where your skills really come in handy. Since we can't use our Q skill, I'm actually going to go with that. Or, since we already have the other skill. Wow, we are seeing so many chieftains, dude. But yeah, a lot of this game comes down to how you handle your crowd control. And I am realizing as I go forward, obviously, unsurprisingly, the skills handle that a lot better than your normal just clicking attack. If you see me just whiffing, that's just me being inaccurate because I'm on Steam Deck. I would have to bet, I haven't played it yet on controller, or not on controller, on PC. I would have to bet that on PC it is way easier to handle. But that's okay, because it still feels actually rather playable on Steam Deck. And honestly, I really like the aesthetic of this game so far. As you can see, we're strong enough on floor 1 here to be one-shotting a lot of these goblins, so what I'm probably going to do, even though this sounds really silly, probably just going to up my damage even more at
Can't
this
carry
point,
more potions.
just so that I can stay above the curve once I get to the next floor. And then you have a mini-map in the corner. You can change its size, and I believe you can pull it up completely. You can also zoom in and out. That's as far in as you can go, and I play it as far out as I can because otherwise this game's a little hard to tell what's going on. That's okay. The first time through, you don't have the hog pet unlocked, so I would not recommend fighting or breaking most of these pots and stuff and picking up gold. One of my biggest complaints early on was it's just really hard to pick up items on the ground, but those issues are fixed. It's just through the fact of having unlocked something and also just getting used to the game. I don't really need health right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, there's a chest in here. Let's go with random arrows. When you level up, you get all your health in. Let's see, what does this do? Increase stun duration to 3.5 seconds. That's a huge increase. Holy cow. Then I go ahead. Bow damage plus 0.75. And then apparently there's guns in this game at some point, which I'm curious about. That over there was just a full health pickup. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm almost at full health anyway. The Q ability for Archer, for Thief, ends up being just a piercing shot, but it ends up being incredibly powerful. Especially on Steam Deck where it's actually a straight line instead of having to be like aimed and clicked on. Nice. Okay. So I think that skill is incredibly powerful. Mages, the goblin mages, I think are the most dangerous enemy in the first level. Because of that attack right there, that fireball. Did you see how much damage it did to me? And how little time I had to react. But that's where the Q skill comes in really handy. When you've got fast attacking enemies like that that do massive damage, And if something on the map is glowing, like if it's glowing like that, it's something we can interact with. I think the game's pretty good. So what do we get? +3 to all 3 stats? That's insane. Don't use mana potions is really easy, so we're gonna go for Tower of Eternal Torment. That's kind of tough to say, huh? That one will be very worthwhile. So this is the hub area. You have somebody who lets you spend your golden orbs, which is your permanent currency.
What step will you take today?
One that permanently unlocks things between runs. It's free to unlock. Or it's free to reset, not unlock, sorry. It's free to reset everything, which means if you're playing a different class, you don't have to stick with the same spec every time, but I typically spec into super defensive because that seems to have carried me really far.
Hello, want to buy something?
In general. I would love to get those pants. Oh, okay. I think I'll be able to too. How much? 1,092. Wow. I won't be able to get those pants. Dang. 5% movement speed and 2 HP regen. Wow, that's so good, dude. Oh well. I think this is part of where maybe I mess up, because if I had done like 5% more gold, or if I had stuck around on the floor just a little bit longer, I could have gotten that rare drop. Or I could have gotten that rare buy,
Every
right?
choice is a step. What step will you take today?
Also, it looks like you need 8 points in the second set of the tree, not just 8 points in the tree overall. And then this gives you starting gold? I thought it was more gold drops. Holy cow, dude. Telling me I might be able to start with 1,000 gold? Yeah, that would be pretty good. And then don't use mana potions. If I use a mana potion, it's going to be because I'm trying to use one of my other hotkeys instead. It's a little bit awkward for me to do that, but that's more so on me, not the game. I can't tell. I'm assuming this is hand-drawn art. I kind of like it, besides the fact that it's a little blurry. Alright, and we can now use our Q skill. Perfect. We even got our Q skill. Where's my mana? Shot it. Oh. Barely not enough stat. Yeah, that's the Q skill, by the way, is just a straightforward shoot the enemy. Turns out to be incredibly strong. Go ahead and do that. And you'll notice if I can ever get a big enough AoE hit and like hurt enough enemies at once, the game will give you like a combo kill sort of thing where it's like kill a lot of damage to a lot of enemies real fast. Which is kind of fun. It ends up happening a lot as Ranger from my experience. Because you only gotta line up like 4 enemies or something before it really starts counting it. Oh. But yeah, this first set of levels doesn't really change much beyond this. Or buff plus 5 armor, that's huge.
I am out of mana.
Out of mana. And this is why I would normally spec into MP a little bit. So I get my piercing shots. I'm only just now getting used to using all my skills though, honestly. There we go, nice. You can laugh at me all you want, by the way. Let me know how bad I am at controlling this sort of game, because I'm not used to it, especially on Steam Deck. So I feel like I'm actually doing pretty decent. I'm gonna go ahead and use a health potion just because we have one. Yeah, nice. I'm gonna probably try to start speeding this up a little bit. I didn't even kill him. Just so I can, I don't want this video to be too long. But also, it gets really dangerous if you try to start rushing through the levels. Here, I'll show you. Like, look at how many enemies there are, and I made a wrong turn, because I gotta get into this room. I walk past it. That's okay. But at the same time, it's like, if you make it to the stairs, you're just out for it. Completely safe after that point. And then look, we got 6 more strength. Holy cow, dude. Enemies are quicker, higher chance for rare items. I think this is actually a very important effect, higher chance for rare items. Rare items are incredibly strong. Unsurprising. We have 10 orbs already, so we could go
In the
ahead and
dance
buy
of
another
destiny,
orb.
every choice is a step. What step will you take today?
Hello, want to buy something?
Want to buy something? Yeah, sure. No, actually I don't. Each class has specific equipment they can wear. Clearly this class can't use, like, anything but bows. And then light armor, I believe. There are 3 classes that I have unlocked. Thief, Sorcerer, or Wizard? I don't actually know the name of that one. And then King is the last one. King can use light, medium, or heavy armor, and also has access to melee weapons, which seem actually really strong. But the very first attempt of this game I did as King, and I died in about almost 2 seconds. I died within the first 2 enemies that I found, because first 2 enemies was actually about 30 enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and go for some max MP. Increases number of traps to 2. That sounds good. Now, not using health potions probably won't be so bad, assuming I just play safe. I say as I probably tank way too much of this guy. Yeah. We do have health regen. By the way, these are auto-spending. We do have health regen, which honestly makes up a lot of extra free healing. Holy cow. Yeah, and then, like, here's my issue. You can't really flee forward in this game. There aren't any hallways that I have found in this game where it's actually safe to just run forward. I'm gonna have to use a health potion, probably. I failed that one, huh? Oh, maybe. It does have 2 traps. Look at that. I should probably. That's sad. That's on me. I really rushed through. It's okay though. I'll show you what happens when you fail one. Turns out, not much happens. It just failed. Alright. Rooms like this one right here have a stat increase item in them, and they're usually filled, at least in this case, against goblins, they're filled with wizards. And that looks to be the case here too. Wizards, I think, are some of the deadliest enemies in this set of combat. I gotta say, so there's a little bit of variance in some of the upgrades that you unlock as you level up, and just some of them are just better. There's a standard just upgrade your main attack effect that you can get. But my issue with it is that it varies per run what it'll be, and sometimes it's... Like on my winning run, it was increase the number of enemies your main attack pierces, whereas sometimes you roll it and it's just like 20% chance to crit on your 3rd shot. Oh my god. Yeah, like, their instant spells and stuff are really dangerous. I don't have enough damage to be one-shotting these guys right now. That's... I'd like to go into this room over here, but it seems incredibly dangerous. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. I don't know. The wizards also have
I
access
am
to...
out of mana.
They have a spell that just gives them a free hit, which is really strong as well. And it doesn't even just apply to them, they can apply it to anybody nearby them. Okay, I see the exit at least. This is level 3. Why don't we just like... Oh my goodness. I went the wrong way, dude. Holy cow. You see how fast? I mean, I know I just ran past this. This is why, but sheesh. Get me out. We don't get any reward. You have 2 more areas to complete. Don't use the E ability. This one gives you orbs if you complete it. I'm going to try running through this level just to show off how bad it is, and then I'll probably call it there. I'm trying to keep this episode a little short. And these runs take usually 45 minutes to an hour, I think, if you're actually playing through and looting and playing safe and stuff. Ooh, started with a chest. Okay, it didn't give me a level up there. I thought it was supposed to. Maybe it's the first 3 levels, is what it is, actually. Look at how many chests there are. It's a lot of chests, dude. There's like 2 chests per room. What the heck? Are you seeing this? Alright, so if you see the more chest effect, like, go loot it, dude. Don't just run through. That would be my take on this. Oh, I ran into a dead end, dude. How can I have no? Okay, we're actually safe for the time being. I think ranged enemies feel way more dangerous than melee enemies. By like a huge margin, by the way. Yeah, okay, they all saw me when I walked past that room. That's cool. Have to keep running. This is also a dead end? Dude, how did I do that? It hurts. Ah, there we go. There's the way out. I'm just booking it. You can see there are dozens of enemies though per run. Right there, we just got what, 20 free golden orbs. So the next floor is the boss floor. Before we do that, I'm gonna load into town. Save myself a little hassle by up.
In the dance of destiny, every choice is a step.
And now I can get
What
gold.
step will you take
Cap
today?
increases or base gold increases. And then these 2 are the actually their effects are different, but I think it's a full dungeon floor, but then the last room is like a mini boss. In the case of this one, I think it's just like 4 goblin guys. We'll see.
Give them hell, human.
I will. By that I mean, I should have stopped by the store and see if they had potions for sale, because I'm gonna die if I try rushing through like this. The enemies that cast spells do hit scan, which I think makes them very hard to actually avoid taking, like, massive damage. Oh, I'm dead. Oh. Unless, save me. I'm dead. Goodbye. Oh well. That's okay. You guys aren't missing much. The mini boss here is just 4 of these goblin captains.
Well, better luck next time, human.
That was a pretty good example, though. I didn't really make use of most things. Also, my HP regens after I die. That's kind of funny. Obviously, I can't do anything with that. That's gonna do it for this video, though. I guess I can go over the options menu real quick. There's not much to it. I like it, though. It's good enough. Windowed mode at 1280 by 720 actually means I can play this in window properly and record. You can set it for attacking and moving with the same button. And then you can have health bars, and then you can rebind what few controls there are. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I had a good, I had a good time with this one, and I think it has potential. I will see you next time, though. Bye.